our winner of the week, we're actually going to steal from another tour this week and grab the Live Tour because Talor Gooch played out of his mind.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
really cool to see.
Yeah, back-to-back 62s. Just played incredible, and Liv really did a good job with Adelaide. Yeah, it was fun to watch. So yeah, we're going to talk about 2 things you can just steal from him that will help your game a ton. Let's just jump right into it. Like Talor Gooch does an incredible job with these 2 things, and really, like, what are they, and what can people like take from it? So let's do it.
All right, so he has perfect pinches. Like his trail hand pinch is like phenomenal, and that's going to be the biggest thing along with your trail foot movement throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Okay,
and that's the theme. So, like when we look at tour players, like some guys might not have the lead hand perfect,
right?
Like Spieth and guys like that, but the trail hand is money.
It has to work. It has to, because we're playing a sideways sport, and if you think about it, like your trail hand is always it's like always the pusher from the side for any type of like thing you do from the side, which is why they use the analogy sometimes of skipping a stone, right? It's like when you skip a stone, you have to hold your external of your trail hand and arm, and then use your most, dominant hand, right?
Exactly.
So with Talor Gooch, though, it's like perfect pinch with his lead hand, neutral to strong. I'd say we talk about 12 o'clock being thumb on top like this, and we're going to turn it to like I'd say 2 o'clock position.
Got it.
Okay. And then trail hand, though, phenomenal. He's at the 230 position with his notch. When you think about what Gooch really does great, though, he gets his, grip perfect, really nice extension of his arms. We're talking about later about like grip pressure, and you look at his arms and they look very locked, right?
Yes.
Which they are, but it's not like an idea of like he's squeezing like at a 10 with his arms themselves, like getting tense up into his rotator cuffs and like shoulders, right? It's like he's keeping the pressure concentrated in the grip, in the arms. And on a scale from 1 to 10, I would think that most of these guys are really less than probably a 3.
Yeah, agreed.
On the grip scale of 1 to 10, right?
They might lock in a 10.
You lock in, and then when he goes back, it looks so like in a sense rigid. But as we know, that once you get your claws locked on, you don't have to try to like apply a lot of like pressure against the club when you push and you twist and you hinge. Like you can just maintain the formation that you've created, that establishment of pressure, and then just maintain it throughout the swing. And then when you look at Gooch too, the second thing is trail foot. So this is the common theme that we have been seeing amongst the pros that we've been analyzing, is that their trail heel is more on the ground at impact, when they strike the ball.
Exactly.
And then some guys, it comes up just after, maybe post-impact. But interesting with Talor Gooch, when his lead arm is back parallel to the ground here in his half follow through, the club's like, we have that 90-degree angle, we'll say. His trail heel is actually still on the ground, like the inner part of it. He's just rolled to the inner part of the lead foot.
And what's the advantage of that? Like we've talked about it a lot before with like helping the gear effect at the bottom. It's like, what can people like actually take away from that?
So there's really 2 things that match up here. Is how the trail wrist stays cupped and the trail arm goes from bench straight from pre-impact to post, but how the trail heel movement basically affects that. So when the trail heel stays more down, let's say this, you're going to start with your feet and knees and your lower body is going to start to like twist open. That's going to make the like the lag that we have here at pre-impact want to close and go left, right? So the idea is that the trail arm and hand from this position at pre-impact, we get the, we'll say close to, max external,
like to the
right?
Sky.
Exactly. And from there, we're just going to allow the trail arm to go from bench straight, like down, out, and away from our chest, like this. And that right there is what allows the shoulders to kind of stay in tilt, but also to control like the release of the lag, because the lag, again, is going left like this naturally. Okay. And as soon as you start to twist your lower body, it goes more. So your job then is to just drive this trail hand arm down, out, and away. Let the, I will say the notches, the connection between the inner thumbs and the index fingers, work down and around the palms. And then we get to our proper post-impact position. Everything's locked. We have proper face control to the target. The face isn't too closed. It's not too open. And you can hit, then you're like maximizing your, height, trajectory, curvature. Right?
So really, like when we talk about like the club wanting to kick left, if the trail hand is on the trail side of the club,
like
that's what's allowing you to kind of counter that. So you really got to be like on the side, like skipping that stone, like you're saying,
for sure,
to support. Because if you're coming through and that thing kicks left, and then your trail hand's on top, whoop, now it's going even more left and closing.
And for our viewers, we promote the strong grip the most, right? And this gear effect idea and influence we're talking about is like the key of importance to maximizing your control of direction and distance. Because if you give in too much to this and don't control the pressures going down, out, and away, like trailer arm going from bent straight, then the natural gear effect of the golf club is going to naturally be closing, and your misses are going to be a little bit too, let's say like hooky in a sense, or like you might be hitting thin or a little heavy. But the idea is just like, then you realize how open you have to get the face, and then control driving down, out, and away properly from the body. And then from there, then here at post impact, we have the perfect face angle, which is again, what all also tour players in a sense just share in common.
Correct.
Okay. But when again, they get there, we feel that it's the trail hand pinch, number one, with a great hand position on the club. And then from there, allowing the trail heel to properly work from pre to post
Because
impact.
if that trail heel came up, then that's disrupting like your body staying in tilt, your butt might move in too much, your head might drop back too much. Like that trail foot controls a lot.
For sure.
And it really disrupts. Like, so that's why tour players, I think, do such a good job of keeping that trail foot back, because they're like, why would I have something disrupting how well I'm using my trail wrist and trail arm?
Right.
Like, this is the magic move. Why bring something into the equation that disrupts the magic move?
And here's something maybe for the viewers to think about is, it's like understanding that really from pre to post impact, it's like you have to make sure that your trail toe to heel stay on the ground, just tilted, and then allow that trail arm to go from bent to straight at post impact. And those are like the two things that you really ultimately have to just do. And you should be focused on like the most in your game from wedge to driver.